Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Rewind and Replay. I'm Matan.
I'm Adriana.
And I'm Caitlin.
And today we are talking about the Game Awards. We're breaking down all the big announcements and awards, everything you need to know, the highs and lows of the Game Awards.
Our thoughts, our gripes, our
Yes.
concerns.
Yes, we have some takes. That much is true.
We have some hot takes. We've got some cold takes. We've
Yeah.
got some
Very cold
lukewarm
takes.
Every temperature of take is here. You can find it all. One-stop shop. We're gonna go through the notable awards first. The awards are notable to us, and then we're gonna go into the big announcements. Let's start off with the best debut game. Phasmophobia won that. Have you guys played Phasmophobia?
I'm not. I really want to.
I was gonna say, I think it's been on all of our wish lists.
Yeah.
For like.
I don't know why I haven't bought it. I think it's because like I was going to, and then it started being like Christmas time, and I started buying presents for everyone. I was like, oh, I don't like. I want to spend money on other people, not myself right now. And it just keeps being pushed back and back. But I will eventually get it. This looks so fun.
I totally agree. It feels like in terms of the public, though, it really like came and went. Like it feels like Phasmophobia was everywhere, and now I don't see it.
I know. I feel like I missed it because I kept waiting. I still want to play it though.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I get similar vibes for like Fall Guys and Among Us, but I know those are still more popular, especially Among Us. But like, I'm not hearing them talked about as much in like my periphery.
I totally agree.
Like Among Us on TikTok used to be all over my For You page. Now, like, I barely see it.
I still see it here and there, and we'll get a little bit more into Among Us in a sec. But I also like Phasmophobia. I like the concept of the game. I would have loved to play it with friends. There were just other games that I thought were more important, and now I sometimes feel like I've kind of missed the boat. We'll see. If we all agree to get it, then we can do it. Caitlin, I'll play it with you if we both get it.
You need to download Paladins first, dude.
You're right. I had to uninstall. I had it installed. I uninstalled it to make room for Cyberpunk.
Wow.
But get more storage.
I should put it on my hard drive.
Weak sauce.
Okay, next game, best multiplayer. This one went to Among Us, which this was some stiff competition. The other nominees were Animal Crossing, Call of Duty Warzone, Fall Guys, and Valorant.
I think
I'm still not surprised. Like when like the other games, I wouldn't necessarily think multiplayer like as much. Like Animal Crossing, I enjoyed. I mean, like obviously I played multiplayer, but I enjoyed it alone too. And I think that was probably its biggest contender.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like Animal Crossing was good, but the multiplayer part wasn't like the main focus.
You're right.
It wasn't like a multiplayer game.
And the multiplayer in Animal Crossing is kind of busted. It's like kind of dumb. I mean, it's
enjoyable, but it takes forever.
Yes,
and it's buggy.
As is true with a lot of Animal Crossing, there are so many roadblocks they put in your way to make the game slower and less interesting. My favorite of these is Warzone. I play Call of Duty Warzone pretty regularly, but I think I understand why Among Us took best multiplayer. It's different from all of these.
Yeah, I mean, shooters in general are like they're multiplayer games, and that's important. But I feel like it's, it's the wrong category. It deserves a nomination, but I don't think it should win.
I'm with you. I think I agree.
Among Us kind of just came out of nowhere. Like no one was really expecting it, and it was just like this game that like swept the summer.
What's weird to me? Let me look this up. What's weird to me is Among Us. Is not even from this year. I don't.
Yeah, it's not new.
Yeah,
2018.
It's been out for like 2 years. Yeah.
I wonder why it's eligible for nomination.
They must have done like a re-release, like a major revamp of it.
Yeah. And that must have been why it like got so popular again. I don't know because it was never popular in the first place. So like all the it became popular.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super into Among Us, so I couldn't give you any specifics, but like I know that they made a lot of changes. To it.
Yeah. I mean, I never played it before this year, so I
me neither.
Right. Most people haven't.
Exactly.
Right. A lot of its popularity is owed to its like it makes such good content. It's so good for streaming and for YouTube content and TikTok and whatever.
It's also
But
perfect for 2020 because
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
wins. And it also works so much better, I feel like, over something like Zoom because you can like turn your video off, mute yourself. So if you're in the same room, because like when I get killed, I go, oh my God, or something. So in person, it's going to be obvious when I get killed. But
sure,
for something
Yeah.
like Zoom or Discord, you're not going to hear me because I'm muted.
sure.
Yeah. Do we want to skip to this was best multiplayer? Do we want to skip to best mobile game because I have thoughts,
Best mobile. So yeah, sure.
which was also Among Us.
Yes. So
Just
best
same
mobile.
game.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are it's a shit ass mobile game.
It's
I hate the mobile version. I don't like
It's
it.
clunky. What I'll say is why I think it got it is I think that it won for best game that is on mobile.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's not the name of the game.
You're right. No, I agree with you. I
know.
agree with you. What's weird to me is its stiffest competition in mobile category was Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Really? What do you think was?
I mean, probably by popular vote, but like by mechanics, what should have been its stiffest competition would be IMO, like Legends of Runeterra or the Pokemon Cafe Mix, because those are more like Hearthstone, like on mobile is pretty solid.
Yes.
Right. Like even if you don't play on PC, and it's pretty similar for Runeterra. So like these are games made for mobile, not just also on mobile.
Do either of you know anything about Genshin Impact on mobile? Because I am not super.
It sucks, is what I
figured. Yeah, like I actually finally started playing Genshin Impact last night. And I don't know how you'd play that on mobile. Like that seems like it's sad.
I have a couple friends who do, and like they're happy with it. But hey, guess what? I bet you it's objectively worse than PC.
Sure.
There's no.
I guess
And on PlayStation. I wonder how it's different from PlayStation to like PC.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I mean, I think it's probably fine on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
Because
see
I
it
can't
being
play
good
it
on
on my
PlayStation.
PC because my PC can't handle it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I had to go
But
to PlayStation.
I would imagine it's pretty good on PlayStation too, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was.
So. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, Pokemon Cafe Mix seems like very. I don't know. It seems like kind of an unfortunate mix of RNG and like skill-based matching.
Right. Like I don't actually like it, but hey, at least it's made for mobile.
It's made for mobile. I hear you. Legends of Runeterra, I don't hear a lot about, but I assume it's a fine game. Riot makes solid games.
Yeah. It's a good. I mean, it's just to me, it doesn't like stand out particularly, but you know, it's another card game that's good and works on mobile and
for
solid.
Sure. Definitely.
It's solid.
Definitely. Let's go back down to best sports / racing. Not a category I have a lot of skin in the game for, but
me either.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 won, which I think easily was the right one. I used to love those games.
Never played them, but I see so many people posting about them. They look very cool.
My best friend is like obsessed. So like I remember the day it came out and like him playing the game and telling me shit that I did not understand at all.
I haven't played this new version, but I have played the old ones and I enjoyed them quite a bit.
Plus,
I'm sure
he's cool. He deserves that.
Yeah.
It's racing.
Tony's a homie.
Some people, like some, like classic, like FIFA fans, they have to be mad, right? Like that's gotta be a thing.
I'm sure.
Yeah?
I'm sure that like FIFA and NBA fans.
I have not played FIFA 21. I think the last FIFA I played was like FIFA 18. I have not played in a long time. But like they're fun games, but
yeah, I can imagine them being like salty that they didn't win.
Totally.
You know?
I
don't know.
Sports gamers are a different breed.
They are. There are people. Sports games are such an interesting sort of subsect to me because most of the gaming world like doesn't play sports games, but then people who play sports games play mostly sports games. Like FIFA Ultimate Team is like their like loot box system that made EA like 40-50% of their money in 2019. Just that part of that game. These games are huge. Like I often forget that because they're just not part of my orbit.
No, but they're gigantic,
dude.
Like
Totally.
Oh, FIFA has a mobile game that's actually pretty fun.
Really?
Yeah.
At least, yeah. It's like a soccer. Well, obviously, be soccer, but
nominate that.
I don't know. Is it FIFA? Now I need to like look on my phone. I played it. I think it was at the beginning of quarantine. I was playing it all the time. I kind of stopped because, once you play a game for so long, it kind of gets
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah.
Man, I think I took it off my phone. I'll have to figure that out. Maybe it's not FIFA, but it's definitely like, I don't know. It's a good game. It was fun. It was like
Cool.
the mechanics were good for like a soccer game on the phone.
Yeah. Nice.
That's impressive. There was a soccer game on the phone that I was playing, but it wasn't like proper.
Hmm.
Like it didn't look like super. It was an indie game, I think. I have no
Cool.
idea what I'm saying, but it was fun.
Cool.
I don't sports.
Next up, we've got Best Family. Animal Crossing New Horizons took that. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
What else was nominated?
Crash Bandicoot 4, Fall Guys, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, which is the one with the real toy cars,
Yeah.
Minecraft Dungeons, and Paper Mario: The Origami King.
Yeah, I mean, so, like I could see an argument for Mario.
Me too.
But
And
like,
Crash Bandicoot 4 I heard was very good. I just think like Animal Crossing for like best family game, like it is accessible
And it's
fun to play with people.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like a good local multiplayer too.
Totally.
I mean, I like the older Crash Bandicoot games. I haven't played the new one.
I have a
So
lot.
I did find it, by the way. It is FIFA Soccer. And it did come out this year.
Cool.
And I'm sad it wasn't nominated. Because
Stiffed.
it was a very good mobile game.
Stiffed. Next up, we've got Best Fighting Game. So Mortal Kombat 11/Ultimate won, which also makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Street Fighter V Champion Edition. People don't really like Street Fighter V, especially competitive players. There's like a lot of little things they did from 4 to 5 that kind of people didn't like. And also, the game released a while ago. Champion Edition is just everything in it. Mortal Kombat 11, I think, was this year, or 2019, and maybe Ultimate was this year. Under Night In-Birth XE Late CLR, such a Japanese title. I've heard good things
I
about.
literally don't know what you just said to me. I was like, am I okay? Is Matane
I have like the list pulled up of like who won and like
Yeah.
nominated. I started scrolling. I was like, what the heck is he saying?
It sounds like you're having a stroke when you say the name of this game.
Yeah.
One Punch Man, I don't know anything about the game itself.
I didn't know there was a game.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
mean, I can't, like, you must be able to play as Saitama, but also like you would beat
Why
everybody
would
in
you?
one punch.
Yeah, why
Right.
would you ever play anyone else? That
That-
sounds horrible.
That would be funny, like having like a mode that's just Saitama and just first hit wins, and just that would be funny.
You just have to dodge him then.
Yes, dodge and block.
That's the entire game is like figuring out how to beat him.
Right. I love all the other characters in One Punch though, so like I'd be down to play this game if it was like on a really big sale. Like, I love Genos and I love Puri Puri Prisoner is in this one. Yeah. I love these weird characters.
Yeah.
I've never really gotten into the Grand Blue series. Mortal Kombat is great. It's awesome. Good win for them.
Yeah.
Best role playing. This one's a little hotter. Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I didn't play it is the thing, but like from what I know about it, probably deserves it. Like
Mhm.
it's got a lot of good hype.
Kaylin, did either of you play the original?
No.
I played just a little bit of the original, and I played the demo for the remake. I mean, Final Fantasy VII, the original, is like one of the most acclaimed games in history. Like people love that game.
Yeah.
The remake was really good, I think, by a lot of people's metrics, but it was, it was long, but it was shorter because they're breaking it into like 3 or 4 pieces.
Yeah.
So it ends after basically the beginning of the game. And it had a lot of weird technical issues, like some weird gross textures at the beginning, and there was some weirdness. But the other nominees were Genshin Impact, Persona 5 Royal, Wasteland 3, and Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yeah, so hot take, I actually don't think Genshin should be in this category. Like
Really?
It is technically an RPG, but it is much more of like MMO adjacent.
So what category would you say it would go better in? I don't think there's an MMO category.
Hey, there should be. There you go. But also there's not usually like a new big MMO every year,
Right. let alone 5.
Right.
Right.
So I get why it's there, but I understand, like, I wouldn't vote for that either. I'm a little salty. I do love Persona, so like.
Yeah.
But
I hear that Persona 5 Royal, now that it's out, is the best way to play that game.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, I really
Yeah.
want to play it. I have not played
Mhm.
it yet.
The style, and then people really Yakuza fans are intense, and I hear that Like a Dragon was a good one. I tried to play Yakuza 0 and I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, me
but
either.
people really like it. I don't know anything about Wasteland.
Yeah.
I don't either. I don't know what that is.
It's fun.
And I like RPGs.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it before, but
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
not tell you anything about it.
I think in short, I think that Final Fantasy VII Remake probably deserves it. Maybe Persona 5 Royal, but
I'm also like that person who, in my opinion, the best RPGs are indie games or like
That's fair.
console, like
What are
Nintendo Switch
what are-
indie games.
what are some you would have put on this list?
From 2020, I don't know. The thing is that I play a lot of older games.
Right.
So I couldn't give you, like, if I said something, I don't know that it could for sure be 2020.
Paper Mario Origami King was this year.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's a good one, man.
Yeah.
I also think there's been like a little bit of like a stall for like recent good ones. But I think 2020 Baldur's Gate, I would put
Oh
on there.
yeah, that's a big one. Baldur's, yeah,
I don't know why it's not on there. And
pretty
then
surprising.
this one's more of an indie game, but Solasta, Crown of the Magister, it was like a thing I found through Kickstarter / Critical Role, and it's a really good RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's a
can't think
shame.
of anything else from 2020 though.
Right. Well, okay. Look, yeah, I think there's a best indie category, right? Yeah, there is. We'll get there.
Yeah, but in there, it's so there's
For
so many
sure.
indies.
Next up is best action adventure. Winner was Last of Us Part 2. Good.
Yeah, I mean they fucking swept. They swept up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
mopped the floor.
I will say again, some stiff competition in this category. That was Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, which I'm still getting through, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I played the first one, loved it, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is on my list.
I've heard a lot of good things about the Star Wars one.
Me too.
So,
Yeah.
Me too.
I don't know.
I heard it's kind of like Uncharted, Dark Souls, Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, like when something sweeps, it sweeps hard.
Yeah.
So like, I get it.
I think Last of Us deserved this category.
I agree.
I mean, I could see an argument for Spider-Man, and I don't know enough about Star Wars.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't disagree, but I also like haven't played Star Wars, so I couldn't.
Right.
Yeah, I
You know.
actually have not played a single other game on this list. So.
Okay. I haven't played Tsushima, but I've talked to friends who have.
Yeah, I would really like to. It looks really
Me
fun.
too. Yeah.
And same
We're
with
not
Last of Us.
qualified to judge this topic. We've only played the winning game.
I'm always rooting for Last of Us, and I played Spider-Man, and it's great. I think Last of Us takes it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which makes sense because like Miles Morales isn't. It's it's like one of the what am I trying to say? It's not like a full game. I mean, it is a full game, but it's not at the same level as like the Spider-Man game.
The original. You're right. There's not quite as much.
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't win Best Action Adventure.
I've been pleasantly surprised at how much there is in Miles Morales. I think they were able to push it out in such a short time because, again, the engine was already built, the open world was already built, a lot of it was already done. But it is less than the first game for sure.
I mean, I'm definitely excited. I really want to play it.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
fun.
It's been hard to find on PS4. Like, I feel like it's sold out everywhere.
On disc. I just got it downloaded because I wanted to play it day of.
That's
But
smart.
you're right. I generally like to have them on disc.
I might just go ahead and download it if I can't find it.
Best action is up next as opposed to best action adventure, but I understand the distinction when looking at the nominees.
I mean, hey, maybe just say adventure, but
Yeah, actually it's a good idea.
but okay.
The winner of best action was Hades.
Yeah.
And the other nominees were Doom Eternal, Half-Life Alyx, Neo 2, and Streets of Rage 4. Pretty disparate, pretty wide scope.
But Hades, man, like and I feel like a lot of the games that like get on this list come out slightly like early fall,
Mhm.
you know?
Because they're fresh.
Right. but this came out like recent, and
Yeah.
it just
Oh,
it's so
Hades-
popular.
I have it. I've played a bunch of it. I haven't beaten it yet. I love it. Hades
Yeah.
is really good. Um, People really like Half-Life Alyx as well. It's a shame I don't have a Valve Index. Neo 2, people like. Streets of Rage 4 is a return to Streets of Rage. It's like a beat 'em up, side scrolling. People like it a lot. Then
Yeah.
the biggest one I think that it was contender for was Doom Eternal.
Oh, yeah.
Doom's a giant, like there are a lot
Huge.
of Doom fans.
And Doom Eternal, people say, is just incredible. Like the
Yeah.
gameplay is just really good, and I think that's what Best Action is calling for, is like action gameplay.
But I imagine people who play Doom probably also played Hades and enjoyed it.
Perhaps.
So
Yeah, Hades is. I would have voted for Hades here, but again, it's the only one I've played a significant amount of. I played a little bit of Neo 1. I played a little bit of Doom 1.
yeah.
And the original Streets of Rage. But yeah, Hades is really, really good. I'm glad it got as many nominations as it did.
Yeah.
All right, Best VR/AR.
Don't have either of those.
Half-Life.
I do, and I haven't played. Well, okay, that's not true. I did play the demo of Marvel's Iron Man, but I have not played a single other one of
Right.
these.
The winner was Half-Life Alyx, of course, biggest VR release in years. I didn't know Dreams had a VR mode, or it says /AR, but I don't think it has AR. That's Dreams is like this really cool game from Media Molecule, who made Little Big Planet. It's basically a game engine. Looks very cool. I always thought it would do well in VR. The other nominees were Marvel's Iron Man VR, Star Wars Squadrons, and Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Walking Dead Saints and Sinners looked really cool. Have you guys
That
seen
did look really cool.
It did.
I'm hesitant to buy any VR game because it gives me so much motion sickness.
Yeah.
And this was like, I think it was like $40, and I was like, that looks so fun. I really want to play it. And same with the Star Wars one. Both of them look so good, and I just couldn't bring myself to buy it because, like, same with the Iron Man. It looked so cool, but as soon as I played the demo, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to play this game.
So in Star Wars Squadrons, you're in a cockpit flying around. Do you think that would make it easier on your motion sickness?
It might be better, because I'm able to do the Until Dawn one where you're like in a cart that's moving you.
Right.
But also if I'm thinking about it, it's very similar to like the ride at Disneyland, like the Millennium Falcon one.
Right.
Which I'm blanking on what it's called right now, but that gives me motion sickness.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Demo when?
Right? I'm like, VR games should give demos just to see if it gives you motion sickness.
We should do an episode on demos because I used to love, back in PS3 days, everything had a demo. I used to love getting demos and playing through them. Some of them like multiple times. There were
demos are coming back on the Switch. They're coming back.
Yeah, there have been some. You're right.
I mean, they're great. Like, there are so many games that I got because I played the demo, and I was like,
totally,
oh, this is so cool. I would have never thought to play this.
Right. Yeah. I wonder how costly they are. You know, because it's already part of the game you're using usually.
It can't be very, literally. Like, you just copy paste, cut off most of the game. There you go.
So you have to have it done early, I suppose. But what I would say is it only happened rarely. I love a good demo that is not in the game. I love a good demo that is its own thing.
True.
Love that.
But I also, I wouldn't mind one that is just like the first 30 minutes of the game. Like if it's between no demo and like
I'm with you.
30 minutes, yeah. Oh yeah. Especially like I said with VR stuff, it's so important because VR gives so many people motion sickness.
You're right.
I don't want to spend $40 on a game if I'm not going to be able to play it.
Absolutely. Yeah. You make a good point.
Which maybe that's why they don't give demos.
Right. Yeah, I didn't I didn't hear as much about Star Wars Squadrons as I expected to.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of advertising for it and then nobody really talked about it. I think it got like mediocre reviews, like it was fine. I just didn't really hear anything. Okay, next up, new category, innovation and accessibility. Very cool category, I think.
Yes.
So the winner was Last of Us Part 2, and the nominees were Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Grounded, Hyperdot, and Watch Dogs Legion.
So the unfortunate thing is that I haven't played those other ones.
Yeah.
And I also, Matan, because I know you've played some of those, right?
I'm aware of them, yeah.
Okay, so when they say accessibility, Do they don't mean game mechanics, do they?
Well, to a point. So what I think, I'm sure I'm missing some things in Last of Us, but what I know is they change things from mashing. You can change to just holding a button, so that it's easier on people. So it's easier on some people who can't press that quickly. There's the color blindness modes. I know some of them for people who are deaf and hard of hearing. This is a common one. I think Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs also have these. They have these little visuals for showing where like footsteps are and where people are talking.
Yeah, I've seen that in Valhalla.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing that I know about. And I know that Last of Us Part 2, like there was some guy who wrote them about lack of accessibility in one of their other games, and then they hired him to be a consultant for this.
Nice.
But
the thing is, though, like the things you were just talking about, I don't remember that in The Last of Us Part 2.
Well, we didn't. They're options.
Yeah, you have to turn them on.
Okay, this is true.
Yeah.
But are they there?
They're
there. We're sure. Okay.
Yes. I remember reading an article about their accessibility. I of course am forgetting some, but I wish I knew more about the other ones. The one I know about is Grounded. Actually, I do know about Grounded. The big thing that they tout, I'm sure they have other ones, but is an arachnophobia slider. So
that's for Caitlin.
Me too. There are giants. Well, you're tiny, so there's regular spiders, but they look giant, and you can basically make a slider that makes them less and less spider-like.
So
they're basically just blobs, because they're kind of horrifying, which is cool. And
that is cool.
I also remember looking. So I saw this award live as well. Hyperdot was not a game I had heard of, but it's very simple. Basically, you just control this little ball and you dodge everything. But what I remember seeing is somebody in, I'm not sure exactly what condition they had, but basically in a wheelchair, basically moving their face, because they had tracking for the dot to be able to move. So even people without like significant control of their fine motor functions can still play this game.
Nice.
Yeah.
That should win.
I know. I don't know a lot about the game. I was kind of surprised it didn't after seeing the little clip in the like awards.
The live stream, yeah. The show.
But I know that Last of Us made a lot of efforts in this category. I wish I could compare it more to other games. I like Grounded. I love the arachnophobia slider. Like that's, I don't know. I'm not going to give it the award for that, you know? Yeah. And I think that Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion are pretty comparable, both being made by Ubisoft. So, you know, I'm glad, of course, like I'm glad Last of Us is getting recognition for putting effort into this area, but it seems like Hyperdot was another one that could have taken it. Have you guys heard about this? There's a player, I think he plays Street Fighter. He's like a fighting game guy who plays with his mouth mostly. I think his mouth and his elbow or something, because he doesn't really have control of it. And he's crazy good. He's like a serious competitor, which is very cool.
Dang,
that's impressive.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, so my main critique for this is good, not good enough. And I'm always going to be that way for things that matter to me.
What kind of things would you like to have seen?
I don't know. I don't have any visible disabilities and like not serious ones. So like I haven't particularly thought about it, but like one of my younger cousins has like very little mobility on her left side. So she doesn't really like to play video games, but like we all play games. So like I want Rock Band for different types of people. I don't know.
Sure. I hear you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm glad this is getting a category now. They're going to do it in the foreseeable future. It's a good category.
It is a good category.
Next up, another good category, best community support.
Yes.
Fall Guys took this. I haven't played Fall Guys in months, so I really can't comment on this.
It felt early, and 2020's felt like a century, right? So like, was it 2020?
The other nominees were Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Valorant. I know Fortnite gets a crazy amount of updates and content, but...
Hey, but you know what? Fortnite has a trashed community.
Yeah, true. I wish I could comment on this more. Fall Guys, you know, again, I really enjoyed it, but it really was like a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
Caitlin,
did you play this game?
No, I did not.
Yeah,
I think it is probably, I don't think for people our age or older that it's like as popular now, but I think a lot of kids are still playing it.
Yeah, it
Um,
still is going strong. I mean, we'll get to this in the
Yeah.
announcement. They just announced a new season for the game.
Yeah. So
Um,
important. I'm glad it got a win.
Yeah. Up next to best indie, another win for Hades.
Yes.
Earned. The other nominees were Carrion, Fall Guys, Spelunky 2, and Spiritfarer. Pretty stiff competition.
Yeah.
I didn't know originally that Fall Guys was an indie game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was, I don't know,
A
fun
nice
fact.
for sure.
Yeah.
Spelunky 2 is very successful.
Yeah.
And I really like Spiritfarer as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was rooting for Spiritfarer, but only I've been waiting for it to go on sale, so I haven't actually played it yet.
Yeah.
I'm cheap like that,
And
but
Carrion is very cool too. It looks pretty unique. The movement's very
yeah,
cool. I don't know a lot about
it's
it.
just it has Spiritfarer like feels the most actual indie, and like
Sure, but I am glad Hades
vibes.
won. I just like
Yeah.
to me that game is so
Yeah.
exceptional. I would have been happy if Spiritfarer won, but Hades I think was what I was rooting for.
it's a good game.
It is.
Um,
That's what I would.
You know what's not good, and it's only very loosely related because we're talking Hades and Greek mythology. You know what's not good? Never watch this show, The Blood of Zeus.
is it bad? I heard it was like okay.
It's bad. No.
Last time you told me about it, you were like on the fence. You were like, I don't know about it yet.
Oh, well, I was trying to give it a shot, and it's only like 10
That's a
episodes.
shame.
So I was trying to give it a shot, but it like sets you
Mm.
up in like an interesting way the first like 3 episodes, and then you just fall on your fucking face.
Such a shame.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's the same. The art team is the same people that did the animation for Castlevania, so I was
Right.
really excited.
The art's cool.
Yeah, like I
But-
keep seeing it on Netflix. I'm like, this looks so cool, but then
That's a
It's
shame.
especially you, Caitlin. Like
yeah.
you know Greek mythology, you would hate it.
Yeah. Mm.
After indie, we've got best ongoing, which is kind of to me similar to community support, but I don't know. Winner was No Man's Sky, but I guess maybe ongoing is more in terms of solid content, or community support is more like fixes.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky, I have only heard good things about its continued support.
Yeah.
People really, I mean, that game really flopped hard at the beginning. We all remember that. But I've heard just the continuous updates, like the continuous added content for free has just been really good.
I think that's maybe why they won, right? Like flopping hard, and then like, oh shit, like now it's like
Most improved,
like
right?
most improved.
Right.
Yeah, kind of like what happened with Among Us too. Like flopped real hard, no
For
one knew what
sure.
it was, and then all of a sudden, boom.
For sure. Yeah. No
I
Man's
mean,
Sky was cool.
I think Apex was like good. You know, I'm happy for the nomination.
I play a lot of Apex now. I've enjoyed the new season. Destiny 2 is it's a big update. Warzone 2, Fortnite as well. I think No
Right.
Man's Sky takes this. I think I'm
Yeah.
glad.
Most improved.
For sure. That's basically
Like,
best
good
ongoing.
shit.
Next up is Games for Impact. So Tell Me Why won, which is a Don't Nod game that none of us have played, but I saw just recently got added to Xbox Game Pass, which I do temporarily have. So I was thinking of checking it out.
Yeah, you should. It
It-
looks really cool.
it's about twins, one of whom is trans, and it's very much about like, I think there's a lot of like flashbacks to like abuse in the home, and there's a lot of, it seems like a good nominee / winner for Games for Impact.
Yeah, I think you see,
Interesting.
like the two different memories of what happened. So it's like you
Mhm.
play like from, or I don't know exactly like what you play, but you see it like from one perspective, and then you see it from the other sibling's perspective.
Mm.
Mhm.
You know, like about how people remember things differently, and like how that affects like what you remember. You know,
Sure.
yeah, I don't know. It's just about memories.
Sure.
But yeah, it looks really interesting.
Sounds
I don't have a
emotional.
console to
Yeah.
play it on because my PC won't run it. Sadly, I got really hyped when I saw the trailer, and then I was
Yeah.
like, I can't play this.
Yeah. Right. Then
Sad times.
Spiritfarer is in this game, in this category as well. Very much about like accepting death, having a more positive
Yeah.
relationship with death and empathy. I've heard very good things about Kentucky Route Zero. I got it from Twitch Prime a while ago. I've just heard awesome things. I'd like to check it out. I don't know anything about Through the Darkest of Times or If Found. Do you guys?
No.
Best performance. Winner was Laura Bailey as Abby with ruffled some feathers.
Nah, fuck everyone else.
Listen,
Laura Bailey
hated
has my
Abby.
heart.
I hated Abby so much.
Yeah.
But that's because Laura Bailey did a beautiful
Yep.
job. And
Yep.
Laura Bailey is amazing. And I love Laura
Yep.
Bailey.
And
Yep.
if anyone else had played Abby, I would have stopped the game.
Oh yeah.
No, like really, like if anyone, like even like 1% not as good as Laura Bailey had played that, I'm out.
She
Yeah.
Like,
did
it's
a
not worth it.
fantastic job, as did Ashley Johnson as Ellie, who was
Of
another
course.
nominee.
The only other one on this list, I mean, I'm sure
Um,
the others did amazing. I know they did, but Ashley Johnson, I'm like, I wish she had won, but
Right.
also Laura Bailey, yes.
My two crit
Yeah.
roll
Yeah.
queen.
They both were just absolutely tremendous. Say what you will about Last of Us 2, the performances were incredible.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The other nominees were, as I mentioned, Ashley Johnson as Ellie, Daisuke Tsuji as Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima, Logan Cunningham as Hades from Hades. Actually, all of the performances in Hades are very good in an unexpected way. They're all good. The writing and the character and the acting is great. And then Naji Jeter as Miles Morales. He does a good job. I think that the writing in that game like suffers a little bit sometimes, and so I'm not sure if that's my hesitance is because of him or because of sometimes
It's probably the writing and not his performance. But I will say, like, these are all really solid nominations.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
You know, like these are all truly excellent.
Totally.
But Laura Bailey for life. So
yeah. Next up, audio design. So Last of Us Part 2 won. Other nominees were Doom Eternal, Half-Life Alyx, Ghost of Tsushima, Resident Evil 3.
I actually cut.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I mean, the audio design was good for The Last of Us, but I guess I haven't played enough Ghost of Tsushima to like say, but like I felt like that had like a pretty, like what I've played of it had a really good,
I agree.
you know, audio design. So
those were the two that I heard most about. I didn't hear a lot about the sound design of Half-Life Alyx, Doom Eternal, and Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Neither.
I was really blown away with the sound design of Last of Us 2. I noticed it in a positive way. There were moments where I was like really blown away by the sound.
Yeah.
And I've heard really good things about Ghost of Tsushima's as well.
Yeah.
Best score and music. So winner was Final Fantasy VII Remake. Nominees were Doom Eternal, Hades, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and Last of Us Part 2.
I wanted The Last of Us Part 2 to win because Ellie singing gets me good. So I don't know what to tell you.
The soundtrack is beautiful.
Final Fantasy VII has some great music that they redid for the remake. I love it. Like the battle theme when you're fighting the thing in the factory, the big robot boss in the factory, so good.
Yeah.
Doom Eternal also had great music, though I hear there was kind of a controversy around it. Actually, I'll just go into it briefly, but basically the guy who did the music for the first Doom reboot that people loved got brought back in, but he did less of it, and then he like tweeted something. Somebody tweeted to him, was like, "Hey, like Mick, why didn't you do more of this song?" Or it was something about the quality.
Mick Jagger.
Yeah, it was Mick Jagger.
Sorry.
Yeah. Basically, there was like the sound quality isn't as good in this game. Like, what happened, Mick? And he's like, "Well, I wouldn't know because I wasn't allowed to make that song." And then he was like threw some shade, and everybody was like, "Wow, how could you not let Mick do these songs?" And then one of the sound people came back, tweeted and was basically like, "Hey, like he just like wasn't meeting deadlines again and again and again, and we had to get somebody else to do it because we needed to ship this game." And so everybody turned on him. Hades, good music. It doesn't blow me away. The first Ori game was great. Final Fantasy VII, I'm not mad. Last of Us Part 2 is also
good. I'm not mad either. I just
really good.
Yeah.
Really good. When I played the demo, I was very impressed. Best art direction. Nominees were first the winner, Ghost of Tsushima. Nominees: Final Fantasy VII Remake, Hades, Ori, and Last of Us Part 2.
I mean, The Last of Us Part 2, gorgeous, great art. Ghost of Tsushima is like the aesthetic game, though. It's different.
To me, the top three of this are Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and Ori. I love the art style of Hades and Ori, but Ghost of Tsushima's visual style is great. I love that they added that filter. What's it called? The famous old Japanese.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like all of these, other than like the three mentioned, are more unique. Like the others have excellent art direction, but they're not necessarily groundbreaking art direction.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the name of the director.
I'm a huge fan of like the post-apocalyptic like
Yeah.
look of worlds, and I think Last of Us does it incredibly. But I don't think there's anything overly unique about the world, just because you can't do anything super unique because it's been done before. And like, not saying it's bad, like they
Yeah.
do an incredible job.
It
with
deserves the
It's
nomination.
gorgeous.
I think it deserves the nomination.
Yeah,
Yes, agreed.
but
No.
not the win.
I was blown away by Seattle, but you're totally right. Not
Oh,
the win.
yeah.
Yeah.
Next up is Best Narrative. Winner was Last of Us Part 2, easily. Other nominees were 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. I've heard good things. Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades. I actually, from personal friends, I've heard some gripes with Ghost of Tsushima's narrative.
Yeah, I was gonna say same.
Yeah.
Caitlin, do you know anything about these other ones?
No.
Okay. Last of Us Part 2, of course, one of the best narratives in gaming, in my opinion.
I mean, this seems evident. Like, what else are we gonna?
I mean, again, like me and Adri have our problems with the
of
narrative,
course.
but it's still an incredibly written narrative.
Sure.
Yeah, it's well written. Should it have been written that way?
I think yes.
Thoughts?
Absolutely.
Thoughts?
Hades, what I really like about Hades' narrative is that it puts the roguelike format into a narrative functionally. So like Binding of Isaac, you just keep respawning. It doesn't really explain. You get different endings, but like Hades, like when you die, you like come back and then you talk to the people and they're like, oh, you died that time. Oh, well, there's a guy who always like makes a remark based on who or what killed you. You can hang out and chat with the person, the final boss of the first stage, so that you can go and talk to her and be like, hey, like you killed me. And she's like, yeah, I get fucked, lol. Like, it's fun.
That's nice.
That's really
That's
cool.
a nice, careful consideration. But I think for overall narrative,
Absolutely.
like,
Last of Us Part 2, no way. Absolutely, easy win. Next up is Best Game Direction. Last of Us Part 2 won. Nominees were Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, Last of Us.
yeah, I mean, we've talked by this point. We've seen these games up, down, and sideways on this list.
all of these ones here. Half-Life Alyx, I think, would be a consideration as well. Just because it does some really cool things with the Half-Life and making it work in VR, but Last of Us takes it for me.
Yeah.
And then finally, Game of the Year. Winner was Last of Us Part 2. Big surprise.
Yeah.
Nominees were Animal Crossing New Horizons, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, and Hades. I think all of those games deserve.
Yeah, I was happy to see Animal Crossing on there.
Yeah.
Because like it very much felt like the last like 3-4 categories were all kind of the same games.
Yeah.
So it's nice to just spruce it up a little with some Animal
Totally.
Crossing at the top. But yeah, I mean, there's
In there.
no contest though. Like,
Yeah, same for me.
Yeah.
I'm glad there was some indie representation with Hades. It earned its spot. All of these games earned their spots.
yeah.
And that's it for the awards, for the ones that we're going to talk about. So I'm going to take a moment to remind you that this episode is supported by our patron, Matan Sucks at Injustice 2. If you would like your name to be read on this podcast, you can support us at patreon.com/rewind_replay, which is linked in the description below. Thank you, Matan Sucks at Injustice 2.
Thank you.
I actually just played Injustice 2 with the guy who made that. And
They're a lovely patron.
yes, with our lovely patron.
Did he beat you? Did you suck?
Yeah, he did.
Okay,
I won't go into it. We have secondary characters. I won. Main characters, he won.
whatever.
Anyway, onto the announcements. We're running out of time, so we'll move a little quickly. We're gonna go through the most notable ones to us. Number one to me, Sephiroth announced for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC.
You're such a big Smash fan.
I am. I'm a huge Smash fan.
Yeah.
And you guys haven't played Final Fantasy VII, so you don't really. Or did you play as my Kingdom Hearts? Caitlin, you did.
I've been a little, not a huge fan.
Okay, yeah, I played all of them. Neither am I.
I tried. I wanted to like these games
I
because
get you.
it's Disney. It's video
I
games.
know.
It looks so cool.
I'm right there with you, Caitlin. I could not agree more. Sephiroth is also one of the hardest bosses in Kingdom Hearts 2, so he's in that as well. If you got there. we don't need another anime sword fighter boy. We don't. There are so many anime sword fighters in this game. So many. Like 10 Fire Emblem characters, Cloud, Link. Like there are so many. We
There's
don't
like
need
3
more.
links. There's so many.
There's 3 Links too. Like we don't need another.
Yeah.
That being said, Sephiroth looks more dynamic and interesting to me, more visually striking than a lot of the Fire Emblem characters. We haven't seen all of his moveset yet. We just saw a trailer. We're going to do a moveset soon. I'm disappointed. Like, I think that Minecraft Steve, the most recent character, I don't think the implementation was good. I think he's too complicated, but I love that they're thinking outside the box, forgive the pun. I love that he's like a unique character.
Yeah, a good ad that isn't
right.
Totally expected. Yeah. I can go next for what I'm hyped about.
Please.
We're all just like picking a thing. Oh my god, Elden Ring.
Did they talk about Elden Ring?
Well, I didn't watch the live thing, but it's most anticipated game too, is what like award it won, Elden
true.
Ring. And it was announced this year, so I'm just gonna go with it. I'm so hyped. I don't know what the only words, okay, right? Action RPG. Bandai Namco Entertainment, George R.R. Martin. That's all I need to say.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Caitlin, do you have any attachment to this game?
No.
Okay. Basically made by the people who make Dark Souls, which, as we've known from our recent video, infuriates me to no end. But George R.R. Martin plus the world building of George R.R. Martin plus the world building of Miyazaki from Software, I'm kind of into it. I'm kind of back in.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Maybe.
Just
yeah.
Get me more hyped for it. I mean, not right
Okay.
now. In the future,
Right.
So there are probably other Bandai Namco games that you're not like thinking of, but are like really popular. Like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That publisher is like my bread and butter.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I like their games.
Yes.
But yeah.
Caitlin, do you have a pick from the announcements that you're most interested in?
I thought It Takes Two looks so incredible.
Great pick.
I'm so excited for this. It looks like a fun, like Pixar meets video games. I don't think Pixar has anything to do with it. It just has that like vibe to it.
Yep.
And I'm sad because I don't have a second player to play this with.
You can do it online. I'll play with you.
Let's do it.
I'm so into this.
Yeah, it looks so cool. It's a co-op game, and there's like the 2 characters, and you have to like co-op everything to get through it. I don't know. Yeah, the art style is beautiful. It looks really cool.
And the trailer, it was chock full of stuff. There's so many different things they're doing.
Yeah.
It's made by Hazelight, who made A Way Out, which was another game that necessitates co-op that I love.
Yeah.
So I really have a lot of faith in them.
Yeah, I mean the mechanics look really good. It's just not my kind of game, so I'm not very hyped. But I can see this being like the next like Among Us, like
for sure
popular.
Speaking of which, wanted to mention new Among Us map coming. Looks cool, looks different. And then I wanted to, sorry, I mentioned Sephiroth, but I want to mention one more that I'm so excited for.
I
know. Season. Did you guys check out this trailer?
No.
It is absolutely stunning. The visuals are gorgeous. It's about, you explore this village. It seems like mildly post-apocalyptic, not entirely, but it's not an action game.
Is it Firewatch vibes? I'm getting
kind of Firewatch vibes. And you're riding your bike a lot. And it looks gorgeous. The style is absolutely mind-boggling. I am really into it. No release date given. But
I hope it's not a Firewatch Part 2. Is all.
Yeah. Is it? It's not made by them, is it? Yeah, Scavenger Studio. It's not. Okay, but I'm still super into it.
Yeah. Vibes. Good shit this year, man.
Yeah. I'm glad. I was worried that we would have kind of a pause because like when quarantine, when the pandemic hit, a lot of games were most of the way done. And so then people were able to finish them. I'm glad that games are still able to be like started and worked on in quarantine. Also quick shout out to Mass Effect. Mass Effect will continue, hopefully it's good. I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah.
Also, Vin Diesel in the Ark trailer. Very
yes. I love Vin Diesel. I am not a big like action movie fan, but I really like anything with Vin Diesel.
Sure. He was at the Game Awards last year, I think, or maybe he was at E3. He was talking about this Fast and Furious game that ended up really shitty.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, that really does.
And I think that just about does it for us. Yeah. Anything else you wanted to mention or talk about before we go?
How's Cyberpunk going?
Cyberpunk's going great. I've been streaming it pretty frequently. Come check it out. Twitch.tv/MatanaH in the description. As are all of our Twitch channels and our group Twitch channel. Thank you very much for watching and listening. We post podcasts once a week, every Friday, wherever you get podcasts, or on YouTube with a video element. We've got a lot of very cool YouTube content coming out. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, check out our tabletop shit. Comes out bi-weekly. Hell yeah.
Yes, totally. I've been having a lot of fun. Behind the Magic, our most recent one, I really enjoyed. Very improv-y.
That was a fun one.
That one was really fun.
We put out a video of me talking with our friend Merrick about my
Dark Souls.
misgivings with Dark Souls.
We got a Christmas TTRPG coming out soon.
Woo!
Yeah, very exciting. So make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube and click that bell icon so you're notified whenever we post a new video.
That notification bell.
Also, as I mentioned before, you can support us on Patreon, which is linked below. We'd really appreciate it. It helps us make more content, better content. So anything you can give is much appreciated.
Yeah.
And I think with that, we'll catch you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Wait. We are taking a break for
thank you.
So our next podcast is it 2 weeks? Or
I think it's going to be, it's probably going to be 2 weeks from when you're watching this, right?
Yeah, I think.
It's going to be 2 weeks from whenever you're
Check our
listening.
Twitter. Check our social media.
A new podcast.
Yeah.
Happy holidays. Have a good holiday season and Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah and
Happy New Year.
love.
Make the best of it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll catch you
We'll
next
see you
time.
on the flip side of 2020.
Heck yeah.
See ya.
Bye.